topic for my discussion right now. Zoom agak di-zoomkan mas. Okay, just go down. And before this courses, the student has to take the introduction to Islamic economics, whereby the principle of Islamic economics was there, like no riba, equality, and so on and so on. So we teach that in that side. So here in the Islamic macroeconomics, of course, we introduce the macro indicators like GDP, Keynesian, and so on. When we put stress on that issues and we put the Islamic value on it, just like Dr. Nizambara mentioned earlier. Next, go down. So, terus, go down. Turun ke bawah. Ini ada berapa? Okay, go down. So we have three credit, of course. Go down. Cost objective. Okay. In the cost objective, we do not cover. Just I mentioned, we do not cover the macroeconomics. Yeah, macroeconomics course in the purely conventional. So it's combined. So go down. And about the delivery. We adopt the student-centered learning, whereby every week, student has to prepare for discussion, and we allow them to present at the 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes, the student has to present. If not, then sometimes the student didn't prepare anything for the class. So we ask them to prepare. We create the groups, and we select this group will present this week. Another group present this week, and then I ask them that for those of you who ask questions and so on, we'll give more marks. And from that, after they discuss, they present, they discuss, and then we as a lecturer, we then start to teach. Okay, this one for like the first week, yeah. Of course, we since they don't have the conventional macroeconomics, so we teach at this early meetings. So what is the macroeconomics? What is the foundation that makes it differ from macroeconomics and Islamic economics? And also we need to remind the student that macroeconomics cannot be detached with the microeconomics. Microeconomics is a tree, macroeconomics is a forest. So we need to also remind them that this macroeconomics indicator is because of the individuals that they are doing activity daily in daily activity. Yeah? So of course, next. Okay, if you look at the week 2, 3, 4, it's a component of the Keynesian. Consumption go down. Investment, CIG, NX. So these are all the components of the Keynesian, but we put the Islamic value on it. So in consumption, for example, why a country that have later on more consumption that lead to the inflations, for example. So we focus and thoroughly discuss consumption in this week. And later on, we thoroughly discuss the investment in another week, and so on and so forth. So we go to the next CIG, and then government go down. The government, of course, this government, of course, we introduce how is the socialist, how is the liberalist, and what is the positions in the Islamic context. Yeah, we can give the example because students can easily get or absorb the knowledge by the example. Yeah. So for example, if we introduce the socialist, communist, we take the example of North Korea. Purely socialist, we can take the Nordic country, for example. Yeah. Liberalist, maybe the US, let's say. Yeah. So these are all the examples that we can give to the students. Next, this is government, this is foreign sectors, and the goods market. So in the goods market, I normally bring the student for the discussions. Yeah, bring the student for the discussion. This is, of course, we cannot supply and demand has to be there in every economics sense, yeah. So that when it comes to goods, for example, this is price and this is quantity, and we discuss what makes the price of the goods up and down. For example, during the harvest time of durian, how much do you get for the price at that particular time? And if it is not the harvest time, how much does it cost? How can you explain the movement up and down with this picture? So we bring the student, not only they know concept, the movement of D and S, but they will try to solve the problem and they will try to describe the current phenomena, why the durian Musang kick ups and down with this graph. Yeah. And next, turun lagi. And also paper by Dr. Rosita is also important with Prof. Slama. You remember, Prof, when this paper is actually a micro, but it is important that it is about the allocations of the resource. How do we define the allocations of the fixed resource into the sector which is creating the luxury goods or creating the basic goods? Which one that has the higher utility and so on and so forth. So this paper are important for this one. And about the money market concept, just now our sister asking about the demand for money. It has been mentioned actually in the Towards Monetary Justice by Omar Chapra, and he mentioned that money demand is a function of this. Yeah, maybe you can take a look at that issue. And about the labor market, 5 minutes. Okay, I want to be brief. Labor market, I asked the student, have you asked your parents few years back how much do they pay for your maid, pembantu? Yeah. How much does it cost for now? How much is the wages for now? Of course, increase. How can you explain with the labor market supply and demand like this? Oh yeah, and then there's a lot of discussion in that one, yeah. But more importantly, if you want to put the Islamic value on it, I remember about the labor, yeah, about the people. I remember our previous Pak Habibie has mentioned that we need to have value added on every people. Value added, so that unskilled labor will be the skilled labor. Yeah. Next, aggregate demand and so on. I asked, or inflation. Yeah. I asked the student. I remember in IUM when I was there and starting my PhD in 2004. I remember when I buy TOS teh itu 0,8 ringgit. Yeah. This is in 2004. I started my PhD. This is 0.8. But few years back before pandemic, I was there. It was like 1.2 or something. Yeah. This is 2004, and this is 2000. Let's say this is 2008. Okay, this is this is here 1.2. How can you explain the movement of supply and demand from this 0.8 and now is 1.2? How can you explain? So we bring the student not only know the concept, yeah, but also solve the current problems. Oh, the movement is because of this. Okay, we need to have more supply so that the price can go down. So that's the idea. Okay, go down. Yeah, this fiscal policy, we also, the instrument like zakat, wakaf, how can we have to optimize wakaf so that the supply can shift to the right and the equilibrium price will go down. And then the last one, monetary policy also influence the real sector. The last one is actually the discussions. You know, towards the end of the semester, if we actually want to have a discussion, anything that is still a problem by the student, we can discuss, or we can take a look at the current macroeconomics conditions, like currently in Sri Lanka, where they have so many debts, and maybe a war in Ukraine and Russia. How is the macroeconomics? So those things are in the very last semester. And I remember Prof. Aslam, yang Pak Dumairi. Pak Dumairi was trying to revise the Keynesian into another entity, yeah, add another entity which is social sector. This A is a social sector. I remember he presented in Malaysia in our, if not mistaken, Hotel Istana, Prof. But I could not recall what is the time, what year was it? macroeconomics. Yeah, he presented the time and this one, and I asked him to give this model. I think this is one of the things that we can. For the remaining minutes, I allow Pak Herman to speak anything that you want to speak in remaining. Monggo Pak Herman.